Good morning, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal being, and good-looking person. You know why you're good-looking, Tim?
Why, Barry?
Because you're always looking for and finding the good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the goal in your life is not to figure out how to be comfortable in your mental prisons, but to realize that you have the keys to set yourself free.
Hey everybody, welcome to How to Be Mesmerizing. It's Tim Shurr, and oh my gosh, we have one of my favorite people in the world on the show today. Barry Shore is with us. Barry, welcome to the program.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Now, how can I say, Tim, that all the tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people who will be listening and sharing this are all good-looking? Because by definition, if they tuned into Tim Shurr and Mesmerizing, by definition, they are all looking for the good. And that's a good-looking person, always looking for and finding the good. So hi, good-looking people.
And now you know why I love Barry so much. He is the best joyologist on this planet. And you have an incredible story.
I like that. That's better than being a mixologist or a proctologist. Right. To be a joyologist. I like it. I'm going to write it down. Joyologist.
Yes, well, absolutely.
Yeah, but my sobriquet, as they say in the real world, is I am called the ambassador of joy.
And you are, and the world knows it. I mean, some big name people have, know who you are. Oprah Winfrey has picked you as one of your giving platform as, one of her favorite things, right? Which is a big deal. And, we were just talking about being interviewed by Jack Canfield. And I mean, you're just all over the place. It's extraordinary. And you have an amazing story too. So let's talk a little bit about how you went from entrepreneur to becoming fully paralyzed, and then from going from there to becoming this worldwide sensation as a philanthropist and a podcaster. I love your podcast. You've got over 2 million downloads. I mean, you're just an extraordinary human being. Just every time I talk with you, this light and this love and this joy comes out of you, which is so extraordinary. I know. And it's just so amazing. So for people that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about your journey.
So everything that Tim said, by the way, was written by my mother. She's in heaven, but she sent it down to him, said, hey, give my kids some stuff. Thanks, Mom. So
Thanks, Mom.
We'll talk about several things about Barry Shore because people like the story because it gives them hope. Now, by the way, throughout this our discussion today, we're going to use a lot of acronyms taking the first letter of each word or a word and breaking and finding its positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence. And we're going to also learn about what it means to live the three fundamentals of life. Now, the three fundamentals are, number one, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, you can go mad, which I did. But going mad in this case stands for go make a difference. Because Tim, as you know, when you think in good and you speak in good and you act in good, what happens? Good. So we use a lot of 4-letter words. I like 4-letter words like life, live, good, hope, holy, free, pray, give.
Oh,
so we're talking about hope. Hope is stands for helping others progress every day. And that's basically what I do with my life. So as Tim mentioned, thank God I've been blessed. Chronologically, I'm 71 years of age. Now, I believe, not just believe, I know that every human being has 4 ages that they live in at the same time, Tim. You have 4 ages, you know this. One is your chronological age, your metabolic age, your mental age, and your SOW. So my chronological age is 71. My metabolic age is 48. Why? Because I swim 2 miles a day, 6 days a week, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And my mental acuity is 28, at least sometimes. Because I work with a lot of 25 to 30-year-old people building what we do in this wonderful life of giving and flowing and filled with joy. And my SOW is, and Tim says, what's an SOW? Well,
Yes.
He's not a sow, and maybe he's sewing. SOW stands for sense of wonder. My sense of wonder is an 8-year-old. Remember, childlike, not childish, right?
Oh my goodness.
So the ability to live those 4 ages at the same time or in congruence without negatively affecting, again, everything we do is working with the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. So we like to use 4-letter words as long as they fit in what we said, the 3 fundamentals of life. You have a purpose, go mad, go make a difference. And the 3rd fundamental is uncovering and unlocking the secrets and the power of everyday words and terms. So simple example, right now we're being carried throughout the world through Tim's touch, because Tim Shurr, SHURR, not Barry Shore, SHORE, touches positively hundreds of thousands, not millions of people around the world, because Tim is a cog. He's a channel of goodness. He's a child of God, as is everybody watching, tuning in, listening. But we're carried over something called the internet through Zoom and all kinds of things. So if you ask anybody, what does WWW stand for, Tim? Invariably, they'll say to you, it has to do with the internet. And factually speaking, they're correct. But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for, drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da, what a wonderful world. And what is a word, WHATA, what a wonderful world. So whenever you see WWW, from now forward, you're going to have this crazy guy in the shirt saying, what a wonderful world. But of course, we have to have a big tip of the hat and a thank you to Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, for enabling that song to go viral, right?
Yes.
And touch not just tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. We hear the opening bars of that song, what a wonderful world. What do you do right away? Look what Tim's doing right now. Smile. You can't help it. That's the word. That's the song, right? It touches your very being. And SMILE is one of the most powerful, positive, purposeful, pleasant acronyms you'll ever learn. And during our conversation, I hope, Tim, that there'll be at least one aha moment and a couple of things that people can take with them and do for the rest of their lives, literally the rest of their lives. So this might be an aha moment. What does SMILE stand for? Seeing miracles in life every day. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now, by the way, people, they raise their hand, again, whether we're speaking to 10,000 or 1 million people, which is going to be because of this podcast being shared. People say, but Barry Shore, I've been up for hours where I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you see? Can you stand? Can you walk? Do you have water to drink? Do you have food to eat? Do you have a place to sleep? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Those are all miracles. And what's the proof, Tim? Simple proof. 1 million plus people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. Now, if you're watching this or you're listening to this, guess what? By definition, you didn't. You're alive. If you're alive, live exuberantly. You didn't die. Now, we're in the midst of a pandemic. This is the year 2020, correct? And God willing, we're going to be 21 again pretty soon. And in 21, remember how you all felt? So 20 is going away. 21 is coming very soon. But people will be watching this discussion with us together for decades to come, maybe a century from now, and say, oh yeah, 2020, there was a pandemic. Millions of people didn't get out of bed this morning because they're infirm. They couldn't. They were succumbing to the pandemic. They didn't die, but they're in difficult situations. 99.9% of everybody watching, you didn't. You can get out of bed. So let's go to the story that Tim wants to share. September 17th, September 17th, 2004. I'm standing up in the morning, just like everybody I hope watching, or at least 99.99% of everybody watching, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I was in the hospital, paralyzed completely from my neck down, completely, totally paralyzed. And it wasn't an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease that took over my body. In a matter of hours, Tim, I was totally, completely paralyzed. Nothing. 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was 4 years in a wheelchair. See my hands still? People say, whoa, you have arthritis? No. Thank God I still have my hands and they can move. Can't use them like you, but hey, got hands.
Yeah.
I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Now, thank God today, I am vertical ambulatory with the help of a 6.5-foot walking wand made for me by a Zen master, but I still can't walk up a stair by myself or a curb. And I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice, positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Why? Because I've learned to see miracles in life every day. But I got to share with you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. She said, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? And I thought of it. I said, smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? Because she says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of babes. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Seeing miracles in everyday life. So I am a walking miracle. By the way, just for point of reference, because not everybody, people are watching this, and hopefully you might even download and listen, but I'm going to show you, Tim, how strong I am right now. Watch me stand up from this chair and then sit down. Ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. That was faster than a hummingbird's wings, right? Because I can't. Even today, I'm paralyzed still, basically from my waist down. I can't sit up. I can push on the arms and eventually get up. But thank God, so the upper body, some of it's come back. So let's go back in time, like you asked, prior to September 17, 2004. I have been blessed throughout my life, ever since the time I was 12 actually, was my first paying, not job, but adventure in the business world. My first paying adventure in the business world. Tim, do you like baseball at all?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, you ever hear of the Boston Red Sox?
Yes, I have.
Who hasn't? And by the way, I don't care if you're listening in China right now, you probably heard of the Boston Red Sox. So yours truly, I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Actually, I was born in Boston, raised in a place called Brookline, which is immediately adjacent, literally in the shadow of Fenway Park. And through some family connections and such, I got to sell newspaper scorecards outside of Fenway Park at the age of 12.
Wow.
Now, in addition to that, which enabled me to make money because I was very good. At the age of 12, already out there, scorecards, get your scorecards here, 8 cents here, 15 in the ballpark. No, it's 25 in the ballpark. So sold a lot of papers, and we made 2 cents on a paper, but people gave us a dime, so they made 4 cents. But the point is, you're out there doing, but here's the best part. It was that I was 12, so it was 1960, 61, 62. The Red Sox weren't where they are today in terms of filling a stadium. Right. I got to see dozens, if not hundreds of Red Sox games for free. I'm 12 years old, the cars let us in, you can just fool around, people give us tickets and so, hello, talk about heaven on earth. I said, if this is life, if this is business, I want more of it. Yeah. I was making all of, I think, $3 or $3.50 by selling papers outside the ballpark for a couple hours. But that translates to about $26 today for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Okay, that's a good hustle. But here's the best part. I was standing on this corner, and at that same corner was this really interesting guy. He was what you call grizzled and short and a little bit hunched over, black guy. And his name was Elijah. I mean, literally, this is biblical stuff. I'm thinking about it now. Mm-hmm. He had this very large, like 6 foot by 8 foot cart filled with peanuts, roasted peanuts. I can still smell them in little bags. So he was filling the bags, and he said, peanuts a dime, 3 for a quarter, 15 in the ballpark each. And he was doing a great business. He taught me how to sell, how to relate to people. He taught me a lot about life because we had a chance to talk before the game, before people got there and started coming in. And his cousin was an amazing person named Wilma Rudolph, which name probably doesn't register with you. But I urge everybody watching, look up Wilma Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph was the fastest woman in the world. I think she won the 56 and the 60 Olympics. But here's the best part.
Didn't she have, she had
Yes.
something that was wrong, right? Because I know the name. I've heard the story.
She had polio.
Yes, that's right.
She
That's
had
what it was.
braces on her leg. She
Yes.
was the inspiration for that movie, what they call it, Forrest Gump.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Think about this.
Fastest woman in the world, and she had polio.
Okay, so now people say to me, Barry Shurr, what did you have? So I had a rare disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, French names, two doctors, Guillain and Barré, also known as French polio.
Mm.
So I was tingling when I was thinking back to Elijah, Wilma Rudolph, the fastest woman in the world. Everything is possible when you use this.
Wow, that's
Right?
amazing. Mm.
Thinking, speaking. So my first gig in life, in business, was selling scorecards outside of Fenway Park, seeing ball games, making money, saying, hey, that's business, I love it. Or in the wintertime, which in Boston it snowed oftentimes, you go out, no school days, wow. And then you go knocking door to door, shoveling snow. I'm 12, 13, 14, I can do anything, right? Shoveling a driveway for $5. Okay, it took 20 minutes, but $5, $20, hard work. You can make $50 in a couple of hours. Well, a few hours. Come back home exhausted. Mother made hot chocolate, and you're inside. And I mean, life. I said, working, doing, growing. So I've been blessed. I have built, thank God, with of course teams, 2 businesses. We had multi-million-dollar exits. Both of them bought by NASDAQ companies. I've been issued 3 patents in my life. My first large business was in the internet. We found a way in 1997, 98 for people to something called sending and receiving faxes. I don't even know if anybody knows what a fax is anymore. But sending and receiving faxes through the internet. And we did it. We enabled people to do that for free. Tim, free to 17 countries in the world when it used to cost $5 a page. So within 18 months, and it was internet 1.0, things were booming. Thank God people said, hey, I like that gig. I like you. You built a great team. Okay, here's a lot of money. Go away. And it was just great. And then we did another one. It was called Speak for Free, which enabled people to pick up a phone and call 17 countries for free. Again, arbitrage, all kinds of wonderful things. Then I retired. I was 32, 34, and retired and went back to business again. And within a couple of years, one day, bing, paralyzed. So now the question is, what do you do now? Now imagine, Tim, God, forget you, but people listening, I don't want to point to you personally, but imagine getting up in the morning, you're fine, all of a sudden you fall down, and within an hour or two, you're completely paralyzed. What would you think? What would you do? How would you feel? Would you think, my life is over? This is it? I mean, God, why did you do this to me? Mm-hmm. I wasn't thinking like that. I wasn't thinking like that, Tim, because I wasn't trained that way by myself, by my parents, by my worldview. I was thinking, okay, what do I do now? Dear Lord, what is it you want from me? What am I supposed to do? And at that moment, Tim, a calm came over me that I was 55 years old at the time, chronologically. A calm came over me that I had not known in more than half a century. I didn't know if I was ever going to walk, never moved, but I knew that there was something that was going to be beneficial, that going to flow through and result. That's amazing, huh?
That's amazing.
And now here we are. I'm able to speak with you with this and talk about journey. So we know we love words, right?
Yes.
So when you smile, you see miracles in life every day, or you see miracles in everyday life. What are you doing? You're creating the kind of world you want to live in, right?
Yes.
Now, CREATE is a great acronym because it stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. Causing rethinking. Look, we all, thank God, have a brain. Our brain has over 100 billion brain cells and 10,000 trillion synapses connecting them all. And they're there for more than just deciding what kind of latte you want this morning, right? The ability to do rethinking. Tim, you know neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. You are a master of mesmerizing. That's why this show is called Mesmerizing. Mesmerizing comes from a particular person, Dr. Mesmer, who given his name to something that is entrancing, but in the most positive way, right, Tim?
Yes.
Because it is attracting people to enable them to use their minds to create, causing rethinking, create the best possible world, the best possible world. Give an example, if I may be so bold. Joy! The title of my forthcoming book is called The Joy of Living. By the way, it's not called The Joy of Living. It's called The Joy of Living. And the subtitle is A Healthier, Wealthier You. And as my interview with Jack Canfield, and he mentioned when I told him about that joy heals, and I said it causes people to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser. He says, well, who doesn't want that? Duh, everybody does, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look what's going on in the world today. We're in the midst of a pandemic. Is that correct?
Yes, we are.
The most searched word on the internet by the tens of millions outside of COVID or pandemic and things like that is the word stress. Stress, S-T-R-E-S-S. Everybody's feeling it. Am I correct, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
If you're not, then you're not human. I mean, stress.
Yeah, anxiety was on the rise before the pandemic, and now all-time levels.
And unfortunately, just reports coming out now. We're only talking about a lockdown and a shutdown, not due necessarily back to the disease. It's because of panic and fear.
Yeah.
That's what the lockdown is really about. But that lockdown in the past 7 months has caused rise, as you mentioned, alcohol consumption, abuse of people,
yes,
suicides. So I've looked at stress. I've been working with stress, the idea of stress, these 4 words: stress kills, joy heals. Now, everybody knows the first part. Everybody knows that stress kills. What do I do? How to get rid of it? The book is about 11 strategies for learning how to reduce, mitigate, maybe even eliminate stress. Let's take one clear example. Yeah. The word stress stands for, it's an acronym, stands for stomach turning reality. It's a real situation. It's tough. Enabling self-sabotage. You know what happened? I lost my job. I lost my health. My wife, the kids.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Stomach turning reality. True situation. Enabling self-sabotage. Pity party. Oh no. That's it. What are you going to do? And by the way, everybody else. Stress can also stand for stomach turning reality. Exactly the same situation. It's not good. You may lose your house, you'll lose your job, you have problems with your spouse and kids. Enabling self-success. How we respond to any given set of circumstances determines our life. So again, maybe, or something to do for the rest of your life. These 6 words make all the difference in life. You ready? These 6 words are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Stomach turning reality. It is a difficult situation. No question about it. Okay, on a personal level, paralyzed. What's going to happen? I don't know. Enabling self-success. What are you going to do with it? How do you respond, not react? The ability to live life to the full is really the key. Life stands for living inspirationally for eternity. My dear friend Tim Shurr, S-H-U-R-R, just put on an event that literally is going to enable lives to be better lived. He did something called the Legends Summit. And here you had some of the most remarkable human beings that are currently walking the planet, sharing themselves to help everybody watching learn to live better. Enjoy right now. What I call my particular, I have a series right now called How to Live in Wow Now. How to live in wow now. How do you do that? Okay, information. By the way, all free. By the way, can I mention a free gift that we have, Tim?
Sure, yes.
We have a free gift available for everybody watching, sharing, whatever you want. So the name of the website, of course, is me, barryshore.com, or www, remember that stands, what a wonderful world, .barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE. Send me an email at Barry, BARRY, at barryshore.com. The subject is free gift, free, and you're going to get great free gifts worth over $50. We've sold thousands of them at $50, and you'll have over a half hour of me in little bits and pieces and some information and such, and it's there to use. This is what Tim just did. See, the real key of life is the joy of living can be summed up in one word, and that word is giving. Giving. The essence of life is in giving. So we talk about hope. We said before hope. Hope stands for helping others progress every day. See, when you're in service, Tim, as you know, then you're in life. Life living inspirationally for eternity. So how to live in wow now? How stands for helping others win. What? Hey, what about me? What about me? The best way to you is through service. And by the way, seemingly counterintuitive, until one thinks about it. See, think is a great acronym. It stands for to harness insightful neural connections. To harness insightful neural connections. I had, thank God, great success. All the success trappings that anybody would want vis-a-vis business, family, thank God, an amazing wife, 44 years married, who I would not be here today if it wasn't for my wife, Naomi. I was just protoplasm. She's the one who had to do everything. And I can tell you stories that make you cry about what she had to do and help and be with me and turn me and massage and take care of all the things that happen when somebody stops. I didn't die, thank God. I've been through two people call it near-death experience, Tim. I call it a near-life experience. You get so close to what it is that you can't help but live every moment. Again, right now, it takes me 10 minutes to get out of bed in the morning. But guess what? I get out of bed. Ah!
Right.
So when people meet me, say, "Hi, Barry Shurr, how come you're so upbeat? What's going on?" I said, "A great thing happened to me today." They say, "What?" I said, "I got out of bed." And sometimes they frown. Sometimes they go, "Oh, yeah." But I'm not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of bed in the morning. Remember, I couldn't do it for years. I couldn't move for years. By the way, here's an experiment that I urge people to try and do. Takes about 8 seconds. Don't do this in more than 8 seconds. You go crazy. Tonight, Tim, lay down on your back, on your bed, on your back, and just breathe slowly a little bit. And then for the next 8 seconds, just note that you can't move your feet or your toes, can't move your legs, can't move your fingers, can't move your arms, can't move your upper torso, can't move anything in your body. Nothing. And you're going to be like that for years. Now, again, don't do this for more than 8 seconds because you might freak out a little bit. But when you recognize that you now, after 8 seconds, I can move freely, then you hug whoever's near you, including yourself, and you begin to just a little bit more appreciate what it means to be alive. So I mentioned to you, I use a lot of 4-letter words. We talked about it. Live, life, give, grow, hope, gift, right? Free. So I also use the 4-letter FU word. Okay, I'm telling you in advance, I use the 4-letter FU word. Why? Because it's fun. I like the shock value. But the 4-letter FU word I use is fun. Fun. What? People say, Barry Shurr, fun is spelled with only 3 letters. Not in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Fun is spelled F-U-N. capital N, capital N. So after this, you watch this and you go out and you meet your family, your friends later today, and you point the finger with a big twinkle in your eye and a smile on your face. Remember, smile stand, we say, F you, everybody. Remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Say, where'd you get that? I said, I was listening to Tim Shurr. He had this crazy guy on there, Barry Shore. He says, F you, everybody. So WTF stands for what the fun? F-U, capital N, capital N. Remember, we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. We unite our thoughts, our speech, and our actions. And when you do that, guess what happens? Good results. How's that, Tim?
It's just so extraordinary. You know, I got to tell you, every time we talk, I have a full sheet of acronyms. Because every time we talk, you come up with like 6 or 7 more, and I've written them all down. I could fill a whole book just with your beautiful acronyms. I love that. So let me ask you this. So you are going through the paralysis, and I'm sure you I'm sure you went through different phases of it, right? So what happens in your mind, like the first 30 days where you can't move, and then maybe 6 months down the road, you can't move? What are you thinking then? What's happening in your mind? What is going on in there when you're in a situation like that?
Without minimizing at all the experience, I can tell you that because of preparation, again, unbeknownst to me, but because of preparation of how I've been living my life and focusing for decades on the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. So as Tim knows, if I'm going to put up right now something, it's this. See that card? That's called the Keep Smiling card. Gee, why? Because it says keep smiling. And on the back, there's something called the value of a smile, just 6 sentences or so. So, and I was very blessed, even before the situation, let's say about the year 2000, I received a card like this in the mail one day. Keep smiling. It wasn't like this. This sort of plasticized and make it very nice. And by the way, more than 2 million of these, Tim, have been given out worldwide in 27 languages, and they're available for free, Free. Now we do charge for postage because I pay for all the printing and such, but you can also literally do free by going to the site, barryshore.com, and click on the Keep Smiling, and you'll be able to send them by email. We have thousands of people who every Monday and every Thursday. Now, why Monday and why Thursday? Monday because it's Monday. And Thursday because it's Thursday, coming up the weekend, who send out 5 cards electronically to 5 different people. Every Monday, every Thursday. There are thousands of people doing this. And they do it religiously because they want to spread joy, happiness, peace, and love. So this came to me, one card in the mail in the year, I think it was 2000, happened to be coming from a rabbi in New York. Can you imagine a rabbi in New York? Yeah, lots of them. He sent me the card, a couple other things, little notes saying, hi, Barry, just thinking about you. Okay. I got the card. I said, wow, that's really cool. Just a piece of paper with some printing on it. I said, so I called him up. I said, this is really great. Do you mind if I copy some and give them out? And he's laughing on the other end of the line. He says, I was expecting you to do that, or hoping. I said, okay. So I went to the printer, my friend Danny, who owns a printing studio. And I said, Danny, see this card? I want to print up 100. Will you do that for me? I said, yeah, okay, pay for it, obviously. Printed up 100. Tim, within 6 days, I gave out 100 cards. Wow. And every single person I gave one to said, wow, that's really cool. Thank you. That helped. It made the day, whatever they said. Okay, some people just smiled, but some people really loved it. A number of people said, can I have another one or two? Great. So I went back to Danny on Monday, following week, and said, can we print 1,000? Fine, print 1,000. Here it is. I paid for it. Got 1,000. Within a month, Tim gave out 1,000 Keep Smiling cards. 1,000. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I went back to Danny. So, okay, Danny, I'm in. 10,000. 10,000. Okay, that costs a little bit of money, but hey. And I started giving out cards, and people asked, can I have 5? Can I have 10? And then I had a couple of people, because I know people around the country, and they say, hey, send me 25, send me 50. So we started doing that. And lo and behold, within 6 months, we gave out 10,000. And then, of course, I went and said, okay, give me a price for 100,000.
Wow.
And we never looked back. So why do I tell you this? Because by the time 2004 comes along, we had given out 500,000 Keep Smiling cards.
Wow.
So this is part of my being. This was, I had, thank God, for decades. And a lot of it has to do with my mother, which I'll tell you a story, if you permit me, just after this.
Mm-hmm.
For decades, focused on living exuberantly, positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant. I was really creating the kind of world I wanted to live in, which is filled with joy. I was not articulating it as clearly as I am doing it now. It took me the years of paralysis, by the way, to help do that. Because when you're in paralysis, guess what? Your body may be in paralysis, but not your mind, not your soul, not your spirit. And in those, they were exercising more, they were soaring. So yes, the initial issue of grief, of how is it possible, what am I going to do? That was short-lived in my particular case. I had other things to do. It was as if the good Lord was tapping me on the shoulder and says, hey, sure, I love you. I need your attention right now. Okay, here I am. He got my attention, or she. And now I'm in process of enabling self-success. What am I supposed to do? Tell you a beautiful story, if I may be so bold, because I remember specifically it was December 25th, Christmas Day, Christmas night, Christmas Day, and December 31st, the eve of New Year's and January 1st. I'm in the hospital. I was in the hospital 144 days. And of course, I can't move and such. But they were able to pick me up and put me in a wheelchair every once in a while just to move me around. I had help in the hospital. My wife is so amazing. So not just the nurses, but she hired people to be there through the night for me, because just having a nurse. By the way, I could never, in the hospital, you have to be able to press a button to call a nurse.
Sure.
Man, I'm paralyzed. I can't do that. They had to set up a special something so I could almost move my head, but I could barely speak above a whisper sometimes. Anyway, so I asked my attendant, Renee, who was named, put me in the wheelchair and let's go on the floor, which had about 20 rooms in one wing, 20 rooms in another wing. Just go to room and give out Keep Smiling cards. It's Christmas Eve and Christmas. And people were visiting. It wasn't Corona time. Families were visiting and such. I can't even begin to tell you, Tim, the kind of joy that we could hear from the rooms of people applauding, singing, happy. Some people came out because Renee told them, the guy out there, he can't come in, come out, hugged. I mean, from a simple message. What's the message? Keep smiling. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to tell you a story. My mother, born in 1915, she was one of 4 children. She was the number 2. My mother was, she embodied everything I'm talking to you about, lived it to the full. She was born with a red wine stain over 3/4 of her face. It was a bit pockmarked. Now you got to picture this if you can. It's hard to understand this, but because we're in 2020, this is a century ago, more. Kids in school are a little bit tough in these days, right? Even though we do anti-bullying, things like that. Imagine then you got red wine stain. Apparently my mother, because I heard this from her friends who were with her in high school, and obviously from her siblings and such. Her name is Frances. Hey, she was living in joy daily. She saw miracles in everyday life. And it wasn't that she got through it. You hear me? I'm using words purposely. She didn't just get through it. It was, okay, fine, now what do I do? And in high school, she excelled in scholastically. She played, she did things. And she had friends. She had people who obviously pointed fingers and degraders. So one of the 11 strategies is don't take things personally. Do you know what they said? Oh my gosh. Because if you let compliments go to your head, you let complaints go to your heart.
Mm.
I got a compliment a couple of times when I was wrestling in high school from the coach. This guy was tough, and we had a tough team. I was pretty good. He gave me a great compliment. My head was so big, Tim, I couldn't go through the door. And he said to me something. He said, "Shurr, come over here. I want to teach you something." He taught me this. If you let compliments go to your head, you're going to let complaints go to your heart. It was about 2 months later. I was senior. It was state championships. And we were that close to winning. And I was on the mat. And I screwed up. I lost the match. And by the way, in sort of simple stuff that I could have, should have, could have, would have, all that sort of stuff. Did my teammates say, "Hey, come on, Shurr, it's okay. Next time," the coach said, "Hey, don't worry, that's life." Kicked my butt. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Complaints. But coach again said to me, "You let compliments go to your head, you let complaints go to your heart." Do you know how that helped me the rest of my life? My life. So my mother was so filled with joy and love. I mean, she was the essence of all of these things. She was a baker. She was a homemaker. I'll just say one quick story because it's so telling. We lived in this great city called Brookline, Massachusetts. Happens to be a very wealthy place. And down the street from where we lived was a market. Now, I'm from Boston, so I can call it the Star Market. That's how people in Boston speak. Star Market. It's actually Star, S-T-A-R, Market. Star Market. So they opened up something that used to be, by the way, in the old days, I've seen this, in the 30s, 40s, 50s and such, they had something called the complaint department in stores. If you can look it up, complaint department. Somebody finally got a little bit clever and said, "Wait a minute, why do we call this the courtesy booth?" Wow, I don't know. The manager of the store came up to my mother and said, "Mr. Shurr, Francis, we're just opening up something called the courtesy booth. Would you even consider doing it? You can set your own hours, do whatever you want. Just be there. Just be you. You don't have to learn anything. We're not going to teach you. We're not going to train you. Just be you."
You don't need the training.
We had a meeting, a family meeting. We had 3 kids. I'm the oldest, two wonderful sisters. And he said, yeah, do it. And my father said, "Fine." She said, "Okay, I'll do it." So she went 2 days a week, then 3 days a week, then 5 days a week. And I think it was 4 hours at a time. So here's the real key. Not only was it great, everybody loved it. It's Francis. By this time, her initials are Figs. Francis Ida Goldstein Shurr. Figs. Everybody loves Figs. It's just great. Bottom line for the Star Market, 12-store chain, increased that particular store 2.3% every year over year. Now in grocery, that's huge.
Yeah.
But what they did is they used this model throughout the chain. So my mother, I think, was there 7 years, something like that. And when she retired, they had this big dinner. They do these things. Big dinner. They gave this beautiful Steuben glassware vase. It must have cost $500-600. And a big check, which is very nice. I mean, for those days. And obviously a lot of compliments and such like that. But they mentioned, this brings value. Hello, everybody. Hello. It's not just Barry Shurr. He's not just saying, "Wow, look at that crazy guy, the joyologist," as Tim said, and interesting about www and smile and create and acronyms. And it works. It works in your life. So you asked me about my life. Thank God. Thank God I do. That I didn't have to go be in depression. Okay. Did I walk around and say, "I'm paralyzed"? Of course not. First of all, I couldn't move my arms. Was I smiling every day when I opened my eyes? Yes. You know why, Tim? Because I opened my eyes. I opened my eyes.
Yeah.
What an amazing idea. I opened my eyes. So I'd like to monopolize something, as I have been anyway, but to share and ask everybody to talk about something the rest of your life, to use the two most important words in the English language, and to consider using these two words 3 times. Okay, I'm putting up 3 fingers. Yes. 3 times a day, every single day of the rest of your life, consciously and conscientiously. Yes. And what are these 2 words? Drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why? Thank stands for to harmonize and network kindness. To harmonize and network kindness. Now, the Dalai Lama has been quoted as saying, and I've read in his writings, be kind whenever possible. And it's always possible. Let's think that we can go back to our coffee shops in the morning and go there, be there. You walk in the coffee shop and you order your fancy latte, Tim, for $5.50, right? You order it and you sit down. A few minutes later, somebody brings it over to you, say, thank you. And you go and do your stuff. You go into the coffee shop, you order a fancy latte, $5.50, and a few minutes go by, nobody brings it to you. A few more minutes. So you go to the counter and they say, oh, I'm sorry, we forgot, very busy, we'll bring it to you. A few more minutes go by, you still say, thank you, right? Now imagine you walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. What do you say? Thank you. Thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out. Somebody slams the door on you. What do you say? Thank you. You're stuck in traffic. You're late for the appointment. Somebody cuts you off. What do? You say, thank you. You get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe and it hurts. What do you say? Thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. Kind stands for keep inspiring noble deeds.
So Barry, what do you, if somebody, I'll play devil's advocate. If somebody says, well, you're just
devils, just play the advocate.
You're just denying, the reality. You're just, delusional when you're doing that. When you stub your toe, you don't say thank you. If you lose your job, you don't say thank you. So how do you respond to that?
Okay. First of all, do you hear how wonderful Tim is asking? He says, how do you respond? Not how do you react? So here is the key to what you just said, Tim. The key, you use the word. Reaction is very common in life, is it not?
Yes.
Matter of fact, you just reminded me of something. I used to enjoy really going to the doctor and you cross your knees and he or she has that little rubber triangle thing and like that, your leg goes out. And I remember asking a number of times, does anybody not respond? Mm-hmm. Right? Because you hit a nerve, you have to respond, right? Isn't that correct? You have to. Mm-hmm. Now, mine don't. You can hit me all day long. You put a pin, it doesn't, no response because the nerves don't work there anymore below the waist. Mm-hmm. Okay. I learned an important lesson from that. So the difference between reaction and response is, let's say, we'll call it 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. Now, let's say how long 10 seconds is. You ready? People are wondering, saying, wait a minute, did I lose connection here? What's going on? 10 seconds is a bit of time. Yes. I didn't say a minute. I said 10 seconds.
Yeah.
When you understand, by the way, I'm going to back up. This interaction with Tim and Barry has nothing to do with Tim and Barry. Has everything to do with you. Y-O-U. E-W-E. You. Because the only reason you tuned in, the only reason you continue watching, the only reason you share this with people is because you are concerned and you care the most in the world about you. And that's great, because when you're the best you make the world a better place. You, Y-O-U. We want you to build bridges, create more harmony in life. Remember, this is all about you being healthier, wealthier, and wiser. Yeah. So if you really care about you, what will you do? You use your thoughts, your words, and your deeds to begin training yourself to respond in such a way, stress, stomach-turning reality, enabling self-success. Ask anybody, Tim. Ask anybody, and I think the answer will be yes. Would you like to be healthier? Yes. Would you like to be wealthier? Yes. Well, how come you're not? Well, don't you know what's going on? We call, Mr. Campbell used to teach me, there are many reasons for failure, but no excuse. He was my math teacher when I told him, the dog ate my homework. Many reasons for failure, but no excuse. So as the advocate for the other side, I say to you, my dear friend Tim Shurr, it is the differential between the arbitrage, as you will. And by the way, arbitrage is the way that most of the billions of dollars are made in Wall Street and trading in any business, whether you're trading commodities, you're trading your time for something called money, you're trading yourself in a relationship, being of service. The arbitrage between the moment that something happens and the time that you choose to respond. Remember, I asked you, the 6 most important words that you'll ever internalize are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Something happened untoward, something you don't like, call it, right? Because you're still in process. You stubbed your toe. It hurts. Thank you. What are you, a nut, Shore? Yes, I'm a nut. I love being a nut. You know why? Because I've trained myself to respond. See, everybody knows this term, shift happens. Am I correct? Shift happens.
Yes.
It's the world. Most people, unfortunately, somehow drop that F in the word shift. And they say the other thing.
Yeah.
Shift happens. When you are in control of your thoughts, your speech, and your actions, then not only will your response be, thank you, consciously and conscientiously, but watch what happens in your world. Your world, Tim, will shift. A tectonic shift that may be measured in millimeters, centimeters, sometimes yards. But that's what will happen when you create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. People ask me all the time, hey, Barry Shore, what is joy? What is joy? So the acronym for joy is generating ongoing youth. Generating ongoing youth. That's joy. Because it doesn't matter what your chronological age is. Tim, I was so honored on October the 6th to go visit somebody. It's a woman that I swim with. Did I tell everybody? No. Let's back up. In the process of learning how to regain some of my physical abilities, you see, like this, people say, wow, look at that guy. Handsome, tan, strong. Okay, the upper body, thank God is. I did a lot of aquatic therapy because I live in Southern California, outdoors, pools, thank you, warm, heated. And I had 4 physical therapists working with me for a year at one time. They would put me in the water on my back and they put flotation devices on my arms, flotation device around my tummy, and flotation devices on my legs so I wouldn't sink. And then they would try to move my arms, and eventually some of the upper body, something, again, nerves are coming back. And after about a year or more, all of a sudden I could move my arms over my head.
Ooh, that's huge.
I actually moved.
Yeah.
I moved, shift happened.
Yes.
And I started swimming. A lap, 2 laps. After another half a year, I swam on November 18th. I think it was the year 2006, so it's over 2 years since been completely paralyzed. I swam a mile without stopping, Tim.
Wow.
A mile outdoors on my back. It took me 98 minutes, but who cares?
No, most people couldn't do it now. There's nothing wrong with them physically.
Yeah. So here's where it gets amazing. Because I kept doing that. I like that. So 1 mile, why can't I do it? I'll do it twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm crazy. I love it. I love growing. Remember, stress, stomach turning, reality, enabling self-success. 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Because I help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Didn't matter. I'm in the wheelchair. They put me in. They take me out. They have devices. Hey, I'm just stuff. I'm moving. So I did 5, 6 times a week, a mile every time. Then I was able to turn on my belly, and I still have flotation devices on my legs so they don't sink. I wear paddles to my hands, you see, they don't close. And I have a snorkel, I swim on my tummy. I now swim 2 miles a day, 6 days a week, Tim. And I've been doing that for a dozen years. As of this particular broadcast, we have accumulated 7,891 miles.
Oh,
okay, Tim, where do you live? What state? You're in Indiana?
I'm in Indianapolis,
Indiana. So 7,891 miles is swimming from Indianapolis to New York City, from New York City across the Atlantic Ocean, through the Straits of Gibraltar, across the Mediterranean, up to Israel, to Jerusalem, and down to Dubai.
Wow, that's insane.
That's a lot of miles. And while
Wow.
I'm swimming, I have a waterproof MP3 player. I mean, this guy is really crazy, right? Waterproof. I found this, a waterproof MP3 player, which, by the way, doesn't go in your ears. It does bone conductivity. It's called FINIS, FINIS. I recommend it to anybody who swims.
Yeah, I've heard
Waterproof, and I'm listening to legends, upbeat, strong, positive. I even listen to myself sometimes. I record stuff and say, because I'm in the water. So now I can swim 2 miles in 100 minutes. Still takes me time, but I'm doing it. Most people can't swim part of that.
Yeah.
So what was the whole point of this is that we are in process, continually improving, working on that idea called how do you choose to respond to a situation? Remember, there's 11 strategies for learning how to live in joy daily, the new book, The Joy of Living, A Healthier, Wealthier You. 11 strategies. One of them is smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Another is don't take things personally. Another is don't complain, don't blame. Don't complain, don't blame. But I like, well, that's not gonna, it's not
But I like doing that
you or
stuff.
anybody else. Some people like doing that stuff. You know that, Tim? Causes diminution. We want expansion. People ask me, what is joy? Joy expands the consciousness. It calms the senses. It fills the heart with might and power. Joy enables you to navigate the most turbulent seas. Joy is the wellspring of life living inspirationally for eternity. So it's how you choose to respond. And as your response ability, you hear this? Your response ability increases, the muscle of responsibility comes where, yes, you'll stub your toe one day, and instead of saying shift happens without the F, you'll say, thank you. You say, wait a minute, that's that crazy guy in my head. Get out of here. Thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. When those words come out of your mouth, thank you, 3 times a day, consciously, conscientiously, the rest of your life. Find reasons to say thank you. Find reasons to say this. Tim, did I tell you today how much I appreciate you? And I'm not doing this just because, oh, Barry Shore is making a point now. No, Tim, I appreciate you. You're now enabling us, not me, us. Us stands for United Souls. You're enabling us to bring forth a message to the world, which will, God willing, touch you. Remember, we're not talking to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions who will be watching this. It's you. Why are you? Because you're the only one that matters. The most listened to radio frequency in the world is WII-FM. Everybody knows that frequency. People saying WII-FM. What's in it for me? You know what's in it for you? Calm, aware mind, serenity, healthier, wealthier, living in joy daily. Don't be Barry Shore, be you. Don't be Tim Shurr, be you. Because when you're the best you make the world a better place. Matter of fact, the world can't exist. It can't fulfill the mission of life without you. Being the best you. Yes, it means being healthier, wealthier, wiser in everything you do. Isn't that a wonderful message, Tim?
It's the best. It's the best. Barry. Wow.
Wow,
Extraordinary.
by the way, WOW stands for Words of Wonder.
Words of wonder.
Of wisdom. When you say wow, you say, wow, I can't. Words of wonder, words of wisdom.
Now I have something for you, because I've been listening to your acronyms forever. And as we talk, you do get so excited, and then you keep calling yourself a nut. And you know what nut stands for? Never underestimate thanks.
Are you ready?
Oh, a big hug.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I be a nut. Never underestimate thanks. It is true. With your permission, I'm going to use it. It is
it is yours.
But you see what happens, Tim? This is the beauty of interacting with good, wonderful, loving, caring people. It is saying, okay, yeah, what can I use that? What can I do to find the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence of that word? We even have, by the way, positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant for SHIT. I'm not going to say it to you right now, but we have a book we're going to, God willing, be publishing soon. We're up to 400, actually 401 plus of these positive acronyms. It's for the world. Yeah. Because when you begin to think this way, speak this way, act this way, the only result can be good.
Yeah.
Result, again, I happen to like, people use that word a lot, especially in the business community. What are your results? Result. Yes, so result, you can rearrange the letters and they spell the word luster. See, the real idea of result is to be a star, to have luster. And a star stands for sunshine, transformed, and reformatted. That's what we all are. We're all sunshine, aren't we? Sunshine, transformed, and reformatted. You hear us? We're just part of sunshine. Remember, it's the sun that causes everything to grow. What we eat, we are photosynthetically becoming ourselves the best possible star, filled with luster and brightness and joy, happiness, peace, and love. I love not. Never underestimate thanks.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Barry Shore, double R. That is, or no, I'm the double R. Barry, double R-Y for Barry. Yes. Yes. So, all right, everybody. Now you know why I love this man so much. Barry is, and I mean, Barry, I feel like I've just watched the best movie ever. I mean, your story should be a movie. I mean, it's extraordinary. Really, really powerful. All your acronyms, all your love, and everybody can feel that you are the authentic, real item, that you really believe this, and that you've made your life all about this. And you're such a gift to this world. So barryshore.com, SHORE.com, or you can send an email, barry@barryshore.com, and put free gift in the subject heading, and you'll get some special treats from Barry, because he has so much to offer, so much to give, as you now know. Just hanging around. Coffee, who needs coffee? We need a cup of Barry every single morning to get our day going, and it'll be extraordinary. Barry, you are the definition of mesmerizing, and I can't thank you enough for being a part of our program today. This is just absolutely extraordinary.
And remember to never underestimate thank. So in front of hundreds of thousands of people, I'm going to embrace you in a big hug. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, everybody join us. We do these hugs at the end. So get ready to give a big hug, everybody. All right, okay. Barry, lead us.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I love it.
May I leave everybody with a blessing?
Yes, please do. Take us home.
Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Barry.
Hey, would you like more free tips on how to be a mesmerizing leader? Then check out mesmerizingleadership.com and also hang out with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Tim Shurr. Thanks so much and make your day a sure success. Hey, it's Tim Shurr. Would you like to learn my best secrets for how to be mesmerizing? Then head over to www.survivingtothriving.me. That's www.survivingtothriving.me. I'll see you there.